Okay, I'm just surprised that you playing because you're
I
not getting
hate I
past
hate the
contract.
theme, but I want my shells.
Well, we are
The
now
theme the
live.
theme is retarded.
Screw
We're
SpongeBob.
live now, people.
Oh, it's still retarded. I don't care.
Welcome, everyone, to the OGL. This is number 14. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. We may have some more guests popping in, and we may have a couple that must pop out to take care of business. But anyway, as always, I'm your host, Dr. Feelgood, and let me introduce my typical bastards, starting from my left to my right. First, we got Kadoshi.
This is Kanashi Abominito here to say that stupid people think they have the answer to everything, while smart people are willing to admit to themselves that they that they don't know.
Next up, we got Neo Paleo.
Oh, what's going on? Let's get this thing started. Y'all might hear the music, but
Oh, hell. Next, we got the Shepherd himself.
What's going on, people? This is Good Shepherd. I'm in the middle of Splatfest. Let's make this happen. By the way, like Kanoshi says, never assume you know everything. That's proof that you're ignorant. Peace.
All right. Well, it's been quite the eventful week. And I know most of you may be asking, like, not that much, maybe saying to yourselves that not that much has happened this past week, but it's not about quantity, but it's about massive outcry. And what I'm referring to, you all should know. But yeah, Star Fox Zero release on Friday. I got the game on launch day. I'm enjoying it as well as Star Fox Guard. I think the game is awesome. As a person that's played Star Fox in the past, even owned a couple copies, I love the game. Now, most controls were cumbersome at first and took some getting used to, but that's with any new control technique or anything new in life. But um, all these review sites and people and sheeple out there just following whatever trend is, told to them by, gaming media sites and such. It's ridiculous. I mean, of course, it's not as controversial as Splatoon, in my opinion, but it's right up there. And once again, funny how it ends up being that it's a Nintendo IP that gets all this scrutiny even before people play the game. But, what are you guys' opinion on this whole massive outcry and bitch fit?
uh,
I don't.
Same old shit, just another
basically,
day.
basically, a lot of people call it that. Everyone was bitching and crying about one of the new Star Fox they get, and now it's like, oh, this ain't how I want it. A lot of people called it like Red Knight. He called it that people's gonna hate the new Star Fox, and what do you know?
um,
Yeah, I have to agree. What about you, Kenoshi?
I like to know what these people actually want. They always talk about how I want this new game. Like, oh well, this game sucks because it's not what I want. What did you want in the first place? Do these people actually know what they want? And honestly, I don't think they do. They don't know what they want. They have to be told what they want. I mean, look at Apple and look at the droves of people who buy Apple products every year. Like, nobody wanted an iPad. Nobody wanted a MacBook for the longest time. But here comes Steve Jobs, very, very clever at marketing, telling, yeah, you want these things. People don't know what they want. No idea.
I would have to agree, man. I really do. What about you, Shepard? I guess he's unavailable.
Yeah,
Well,
please leave a message after the beep. Me,
me, my opinion is this. The ones complaining aren't trying hard enough. I released a video earlier today entitled Star Fox Zeros. And yes, it's not a typo. But in the video, I did mention that, like anything new, think about your transition from Super Mario World to Super Mario 64, going from a D-pad to an analog stick. You mean to tell me that once you got your hands on that game and that controller, that you nailed everything perfectly within the first 5 to 10 minutes?
Of
I
Probably
course.
not.
remember. I remember when I
Pure
first
skill,
played.
baby.
I remember when I first played Battlefront, and it used both of the joysticks on the PlayStation 2 controller. I thought the control scheme was terrible. I was like, man, this is stupid. But then after a while, I just got used to it. It just became second nature. It's like if you're playing a shooter, a third person or a first person shooter on a console, why wouldn't you have dual analog sticks? Why doesn't it make sense? People just need to chill.
Any game worth playing has some type of learning curve.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
that was the whole aspect of gaming. It wasn't always mastering the levels or understanding the story, but definitely mastering the controls. And that's
it's not even that. It's when it comes to different consoles or PC. Like not every single controller is going to be exactly the same. And it takes time to getting used to. And those people that want to try something new, they get used to it. Case in point, me going from GTA 5 on PS3 to PC using the keyboard and mouse took some time getting used to. Now it feels natural. Or how going from if you're using a traditional controller like the 360 to play a Call of Duty, but when you go to the Wii controls, it takes some time getting used to, but people get used to it.
Oh,
I
you know,
mean, we
today
are
people are just lazy
It's
because
called growing pains. People, come on.
we are limited by the traditional controller that we've had for how many years now?
And that, and that's the
Since the
thing.
Super,
They
since the
said
Super Nintendo,
Pretty much.
even then, like they said, what makes it traditional? I mean, before we had a joystick and a button. We had rotating. We had all kinds of different things. But people just want to be limited. They just find something they like and they stick with that. But then they want different. They want different things. But yet, when you give them something different, they get pissed. I mean,
Is it
you've
the
already
same
addressed it
people?
in your video, and we've said this before. People don't know what they want. They think they know what they want. Then when you give them what they want, they'll be like, "That's not quite what I wanted."
These are the same people who have been crying and bitching about the Wii U remote. They're like, well, this remote's terrible. It looks too heavy. But yet, they're willing to go out and spend $400, $600, $700 on a helmet on a screen that they strap to their face. Where is the sense in that? That's what I've been trying to figure out this whole time with the whole VR stuff. What's up with
no,
that?
don't know. You're gonna kill your brain trying to figure that out, man.
I'm sitting here wondering, okay, you guys people mock the Wii U for having a screen in which you can turn and look at the world. You guys mock the Wii U for having what
Symmetrical.
is it? Asymmetrical gameplay, but you guys cheer on VR for having those things. Why? Is it because the graphics are a little prettier? But it just doesn't make any sense to me. It makes none.
I
Justin's
don't know.
cornered me. Good
I,
job.
what I don't get is this. Okay, as I said in the beginning, I understand, that even I say that the controls in the beginning, the gyro controls are a bit cumbersome because it's never been done before in a Star Fox game and hasn't been done before in a flight sim, not one that I know of on a console. And basically, combining gyro controls with asymmetric gameplay, I mean, that's a lot to take in. The same way it was a lot to take in, an analog stick and then a dual analog stick. The same. Of course, it takes some getting used to. You have gamed without these things for the last 20 plus years. And now to have a game and a console in which some of the experiences on it require you to switch between two displays to get the best experience, to really feel more immersed than just sitting your ass on a couch with a controller in your hand. You actually feel to get that feeling. It's going to be some difficulty with that, but you must take time to learn it. As I also, put in my video that I released earlier today. It's like, hey, if you're a virgin, the first time you have sex, you're not going to be a porno star. You're just not. It's going to take some training. It's going to take some repetition. But after a while, you'll learn a few tricks. You'll learn what works.
Well,
But you have.
I practiced beforehand actually, so I went in like a star because I
I'm
made
gonna
sure I
I'm
did
gonna assume
research.
Oh
I'm gonna assume you're
man.
referring to masturbation, but we're gonna move on from that.
Yeah, I
No,
noticed.
actually,
Yeah, I
actually
like
no,
how.
because I was raised Roman Catholic, so I didn't do that type of stuff at
Yeah,
first. Okay.
I just want to say this. I find it funny that it says the hangout's only available to people 18 or older. Yeah, I wonder why.
But
Oh,
it's just to me that if sex is something that you have to keep trying and trying if you want to learn anything, then it's like, hey, I'm not saying that gaming is sex, but I'm simply saying that you can use that same notion towards gaming. When you pick up a game, the first time they released Call of Duty, you didn't know what the hell you were doing. It required dual analog sticks, basically every button on the damn controller. That's not something you were used to prior to. But then
Remember,
now things have changed. It's like, okay, we have a game that says, hey, gyro controls. People bitch about it in Splatoon. And the same ones that bitch about, man, gyro controls, you give some support for, dual analog in the Pro Controller. Those same folks are saying that they now use gyro controls and can't go back to dual analog sticks. So give it a chance. I mean, don't just put the controller down and give up because you mess up in the first 10 minutes. Me, I wasn't a flying ace, and hell, I still am not in Star Fox Zero. But I can definitely say when I did the training, the tutorial, I was okay. I did the first mission, I did okay. I went back and did the first mission, I did better. I went back a third time, I did even better than the second time or whatever. I kept going back until like, wow, I'm actually close to getting the medal now. But more and more, the more and more I do it, I'm taking less damage, taking less hits, and I'm doing more stunts, things like that, getting more kills. So repetition, people. Don't give up because it's not familiar. Just keep at it. Eventually, you can give that game a good old orgasm.
remember when you
That's why I said this hangout's 18 plus for a reason, because of you, Doc.
remember when you think about maybe an older brother or sibling when you first saw them play basketball and you were a little kid and they were dribbling the ball in between their legs and doing all sorts of crazy things and you're shooting the ball from very far away and you were like, man, I could do that. And you, as a little kid, you first pick up a basketball and it's like, yeah, you're having trouble handling the ball and whatnot, but yeah, if you don't give up, you keep practicing, and then all of a sudden, in a few months' time, you're able to dribble the ball in between your legs and shoot three throws. Maybe not perfectly, but you're starting to grasp the concept. So this applies to anything in life. It's just, well, we gotta stick to these traditional controllers because this is what we always had. When actually that's not true. That's not what gaming always had.
Nope.
And the controllers throughout the years have evolved, at least on
So
Nintendo's end. So
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen more than a few things where it's just like I'm sitting here. I read, a few of the comments, and I'm seeing things as far as like, see, Nintendo ruins another great franchise with the controls. I've seen reviewers saying, a great game marred by complicated controls. And then I read the review, and it's like you didn't want to finish. You did no more than a few missions. You didn't want to finish the game. So you played this game for maybe half an hour to an hour, and since you couldn't grasp it, that means the game sucks. How hard did you try? How hard did you try? I can tell you, when I purchased Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare, I went to multiplayer, I got my ass handed to me. I got my ass handed to me completely. They were doing shit that I didn't even know I could do. But then eventually, I got better and better and better and better at the game, and now I can pull some of these same stunts these people you see on YouTube doing. It just requires repetition. You have to keep trying. The game is not going to be easy because
But
it has never been
but you
done
just said it
before.
right there. The problem is gamers don't want to try anymore. They want to get it on the first shot, then brag about how awesome they are. Come
Why
on,
is
dude. Look at
Dark
the learning curve for most of these games. They play them as the exact same games. All they do is have better graphics and change the skins around. That's about it.
why is Dark
Nobody
Souls
wants to learn or try anything different. But the funny part is gaming is all about doing different things, about being creative, about being outside the box. But yet nobody wants to jump outside the box. What kind of weird
why is
hypocritical nonsense is that?
why is Dark Souls praised for having, not stellar controls and these sluggish tank controls saying, "Oh, this is one of the hardest, one of the greatest games ever of all time," but yet, when a Nintendo game tries a new control scheme, "Oh, this is terrible. This is awful," but yet you praise Dark Souls for, having very sluggish and, the responses aren't always that great. It's just like,
I forget who it was and whose podcast or video. And I do apologize if you're listening and you're the person, but someone said months back that there's a reason why every shooter has the same control. I think it was actually Rob Arula to review. Shout out to you, man. He said that he was disappointed when they made like Halo, when they gave Halo a Call of Duty control scheme. And he's like, why? Like, it's Halo. It's not supposed to be Call of Duty. It's not supposed to mimic Call of Duty. But the series has slowly been becoming Call of Duty. And I'm pretty sure it's because they want to match that same success that Modern Warfare 1, 2, 3, and the rest of and that whole franchise has amounted over time. It's like, that's cool, but the goal is not to copy, it's to innovate.
Sorry to
And
interrupt, but SK Massive wants to jump in, right?
yeah, I already hit the link.
Okay. Oh, you already sent the link? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Sorry,
But
continue, good sir.
But as he said, like every shooter now that releases has the same control scheme as Call of Duty, with the exception to like maybe like such as Splatoon, stuff like that. But the rest of them had the same control scheme, the same damn thing. Even when even back to Battlefield, Bad Company, that was basically their way of becoming more like Call of Duty. And it's crazy because gamers say they want something new, but then when something new comes out, it says, well, I want it more of the same. You can't have it both ways. You know what that's called? That's called a remaster. That means you want the same game, just prettier graphics. If that's the case, once you instead of you petitioning to have Metroid Federation Force canceled, you should petition Nintendo to make an HD Star Fox 64. Problem solved. You get the same game, but with HD textures. But if that's not what you want, then I need you to shut the hell up and just try out what is actually released.
hey, how about you tell us actually what you do want instead of creating this vague argument? This isn't what I wanted. It's like you never described what you wanted. You always complain that Nintendo stopped making this game or that game, and then they actually make that game. It's like it's not what I wanted. It's like what did you want then? It's like, man, I don't get these people. They never describe what they wanted.
Very, very true, man. And like I said, to me, with this game, just like Splatoon, it's out of hand. Splatoon was judged before its release date. Even though Nintendo was upfront and honest about everything, it was judged. Same thing with Star Fox Zero. The game was judged before it released. And people out there are actually taking the word and advice of reviewers that have admitted that they did not finish the game, did not play long, or couldn't get the controls. And it's like, okay, so that's like saying if one person out there is not good at basketball, can't make a free throw for their life, does that automatically mean that you can't either? Even though you never tried, you're just going to go ahead and take their word and say, well, hell, if he couldn't do it, I know I can't do it. No, it's not the case. People shitted on Devil Stirred. I bought the game. I enjoy it. And I'm not just saying that. I actually do enjoy the game a lot. The only problem I have with it is I don't play it as much because I have about 50 other games on my Wii U to enjoy. But that's another topic. But it just seems to me that people are just saying, well, IGN had this to say about it. GameSpot had this to say about it. So, yeah, Nintendo, here they go again, ruining the franchise. I can't believe they're trying to push gimmicks on us. Okay. If you want to miss out on a great game, you can. You want to take someone's word at, at, full value, that their word is in stone, that it must be like there's some kind of god or something, you go right ahead. I got the game. I'm enjoying it a lot. Does a game have flaws? Every game has flaws. There are a few things I would probably want in Star Fox Zero, but it's okay. It's still a great game. Not a good game, a great game. But these people, man, the ignorance is strong in this one. I thought we were past that kind of shit, but apparently we are not. Anybody else?
I just
This
don't
is the gaming
understand.
community, dude. This will always happen.
Yeah, I just don't understand why people are such slaves to these organizations that do not have their best interest at heart. They're only looking out for number one, GameSpot, IGN, Kotaku. They're only looking out for number one. I mean, look at all the ads plastered on their websites. Look how bad their websites are made. I mean, they're getting paid to say one thing and do another, even if it's completely contradictory. I mean, and people are they're so blinded by their own whatever you want to call it, their own pride, that they can't catch the contradictions of these news organizations.
Well, before we go on, let me go ahead and introduce
What's up, guys?
the later rivals. Oh, what's up, SK?
I'm good, man.
And Double A, if you're there, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. I guess he's not there. Anyway, what's your opinion on all this, SK? Have you picked up the game?
Yeah, I have it.
And do you like it?
Yeah, definitely. Controls needed a little bit of getting used to. Um, 1 minute. I just gotta help these kids put something in the room here.
No problem, man.
Uh, Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, the controls at first needed certain things on the controls needed to get a little bit getting used to. But it only took me about maybe, I would say, like 20 minutes to kind of figure out exactly what was going on. But other than that, I mean, it's fun as hell. It's Star Fox the way you know Star Fox to be. I'm really enjoying it, and it's a little bit it's a little bit challenging in certain areas, but I'm loving that. So I mean, there's no complaint on my end. I don't complain anyway. I buy what I like and I just move on. And even if I don't like something, I won't sit there and just complain about it.
Exactly. Why waste your time fussing over stuff? Just go out there and have some fun.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I buy, and sometimes I might run into one or two that doesn't perform well, but you wouldn't hear me out there ranting and going on with all kind of stuff. I just posting up a lot of stuff on it on Google Plus. For example, right now, I have the Division, right, and they send out an update for it recently. And it seems like since I got the update, it be crashing my computer a lot. So I was going to basically delete it off my computer along with Uplay, because I don't know if it's Uplay that is causing the problem. But every time I logged into the game, my computer sometimes my computer frees up. So but you won't hear me complaining and going on and on. So I don't really understand what the complaints are about. And you're seeing some of these reviews where people is talking about they couldn't finish the game because of controls and all this crap, man. I'm like, man, what's wrong with these people, man? I mean, all it is, right, is just they know that it's that is a kind of a controversy right now, and what they're doing is prolonging it by complaining with these stupid reviews that they're doing. But as far as the game, like I said, I'm enjoying the game, man. No complaint here at all. As a matter of fact, the controls are better than what I actually thought they was gonna be, based off of all the crap I was hearing.
I'm definitely enjoying the game. I know it's going to be a difficult one for the most part, and that's another dirty word that gamers don't like nowadays. Difficulty.
Unless we're talking about Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
Yeah, it's
somehow,
okay.
yeah, somehow that game gets a pass when it comes to difficulty. It's
Controls suck in that game. I mean, I remember playing
Also-
Demon Souls.
you know what it is? It's because it's not on a Nintendo console, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Seriously.
But it's not just that either. Like a lot of platinum titles, they get the same issues. Like, oh, it's too hard. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. But the problem is this. Like Dark Souls. Like, I appreciate what it is, but it's like it's hard in terms of how today's modern game design is. But it's not hard for say like Ghouls and Ghosts or Ninja Gaiden on NES. That's what people don't understand.
That's what I was just about to say, because I have Bloodborne on the PS4, and I was saying that game is not even hard because of hard's sake. It's just hard because of the way that they design the game. They basically make it make a cheating game, to make it hard. It's not like, man, you got to figure out this and do that. It's just like, it's just hard for, like, it's just unnecessarily hard for, the stuff that they're doing in the game is just, it's not normal stuff. So they're just kind of tweaking the AI and having the AI keep responding in different places just to make it hard. It's not like technically hard.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I just know that just looking at this, all of this over controls. Just like Splatoon, all that shit over voice.
And the sad part is some people still won't use the gyro. They just don't want to. But most people who took the time to learn the gyro, the experience is on a whole different level. You get a deeper sense of immersion. The fun is it's more reactive. I mean, it's kind of sad how people just don't want to take the time to learn things anymore. And it's common because this is the generation of everything is instant. Everything is instant. You just press a button and it's done. So whenever they find something that's not instant the way they want it to be, they're like, it's a waste. They made it too challenging. It's too stupid. It's whatever. It's instant. We're all, well, not all of us obviously, but most of us are just lazy. We want everything right now, the way we want it right now. And they don't want to. They claim they want to challenge, but they really don't. That's all. I have to get my little rants in.
Yeah, and that's true, because check this out, right? You see, it's just like when Splatoon came out, right? It's like it doesn't control like Call of Duty, it doesn't feel like those type of shooters. So apparently that's a problem right there. But a lot of what I'm noticing, right, is that they're complaining about controls and stuff, right? But you don't hear nobody going on and on about stuff with VR and all that stuff. And if you think about it, VR just have all the gimmick, everything that they consider a gimmick is all bundled up into the VR that make the VR experience what it is, right? But because it's not something popular, it's not on a Nintendo console, everybody stay quiet about it because it's not the cool thing to do. Just look at, for example, look at some of these guys that used to be praising the Wii U, say a year and a half ago, and look how things change. Look, every minute, every chance they get, they take a chance to blast it for every little thing, or if it's not the console itself, they take the time out to blast the company for whatever stupid reason. So it's just one of those things where everybody is following one another, and it's all a trendy thing. So it's like, if this is the popular thing to talk about, we follow that. Right now, Star Fox on the controls is the popular thing. So they jump on that. But the funny thing about it is that none of them take the time out to sit down and really play the game. They're just going off of somebody else's opinion, and you could tell like the guys that actually like the guys that actually sit down and put time into the game actually like the game. It's just people that is just kind of, their mindset is already screwed up based off of stuff that they're hearing other people say, and that is enough to kind of sway them to just not even be interested in the stuff. Now, I've learned just based off a bunch of games that I've played that some companies, when they said this game is give these games low ratings, these games are actually turning out to be better than a lot of these games that they give high ratings. So I don't even, I don't go off of reviews. I mean, I look at the game, the style of the game, and I basically know whether I would like that type of game or not.
It's a SK, you made a big mistake. Once again, you're thinking about thinking.
Yeah.
People don't think anymore. They ask somebody else what they ask somebody else what to think.
At least not for themselves.
Yeah, and you can't say you can't tell them nothing. It's like it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I mean, if that's what you're gonna, guys that complain about all this crap on YouTube, if that's what you're gonna be doing, I think it's about time that some of them change their YouTube names to like just call yourself a critic of whatever. If you're a Nintendo critic, just call yourself that. You know what I mean? And don't say you're gaming and this and that and just complain. They critique every little thing.
But it's not even proper critique. It's just bashing, honestly. A true critic is pointing out what's truly wrong and what's truly right. They're just straight up bashing.
Yeah.
And it's all based on popularity.
Well, it is.
Well, not all on it, but a good chunk of it is, sorry.
Yeah, well, you see, that it's one of those things that I put a post on Google Plus the other day. I was just basically saying what it is, is a lot of these guys basically, they don't do nothing in their everyday life. So all they do is sit down on a computer and look for the next thing to talk about. They really don't have no friends, or even if they do have friends, their friends probably try to distance themselves from them because I mean, if you just look at it from not from a gaming standpoint, but just as a social standpoint, right? If you got a friend, right, that you genuinely like, right? But every time you go around that person, they just complain about simple stuff, everyday life, just complaining all the time. I mean, eventually you get annoyed by them and you try to you move away. You know what I mean? And it's like one of the things I'm seeing also is like, okay, it's like I've seen some guys like if you say like, let's just say for example, I saw this guy had talking about Star Fox and stuff, and he was kind of like saying certain things about he wished the game had online multiplayer and all that kind of stuff, right? And I was like, listen to him. He was kind of calm and cool with it, right? So I think the guy go by the name Nintendo Reviewer or something like that. And I was like, okay. Then I was looking at the comment section and I saw a guy down there talking about, man, thank God for saying that, man, because man, I hate channels that doesn't point out stuff like that where you could criticize a game for something. The guy wasn't even criticizing the game. You know what I mean? But that's the type of stuff that you get with this. Like any little thing that is, that could be a plus for something or whatever the case is, and you talk about it. You all bundle up in one thing. It's like certain people just got this one point of view where everything have to be negative for them. And if you're the type of person that is gonna sit down here and just look at the positive side of things, then you is a problem because you never have nothing negative to say. And I just don't understand that. You know what I mean? It's like everybody got their own style and own flow of doing their own things. If you subscribe or whatever to a person because of what the person stand for, I mean, why all of a sudden you start complaining about the way that this person is doing stuff when they always been doing that stuff for the whole time? It's like when one set of person shift, everybody is supposed to shift with it. I mean, I just don't understand these things, man.
Well, maybe one day they'll understand that like Nintendo is never going to keep doing the same thing for 20 sequels. They're not going to do that. And here's my thing, people, and this is just as important, at least to me, based on what I've heard over the last year. You guys have been asking for a Star Fox game. Now, you never, I'm pretty sure most, if not all of you, never specify exactly what you wanted in a Star Fox game. It's funny how people can say, we want a new Star Fox game, we want a new Mother, we want a new this and that, but you never really tell them or are able to convey to them exactly how you want it because you don't know. Because no one said they wanted Mario World. Who the you please, if you're out there, whoever this gamer is that says the next Mario I want to have a cape, let me know.
Oh, of course they did. Think about it. It was called Super Mario Brothers. You think Super, you think Superman, you think a cake.
But but people didn't know they wanted that. They did not know they wanted that. You think people
Excuse me?
you think people at the Super Mario Brothers 2 said we want a
Mm.
Tanuki suit? No one ever said that. No one thought of that. Nintendo gave you something. It was weird, maybe even quirky, but you end up liking it, and now you can't live without it. So, looking at Splatoon, you don't
I
have
want my
voice
frog
chat.
suit.
You don't have voice chat in Splatoon, but a lot of you have seen that the game really didn't need it. And with Star Fox, you got motion controls or gyro controls or whatever, and you have to look at both displays if you want to play effectively. Truly, and that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not used to it, but it's pretty cool. Do I prefer the display on my HD TV? Of course, I love the cinematic look of it all. But at the exact same time, I also prefer the immersion that the gamepad first person view provides. I love that. And not having to use my thumbstick to control my aiming, that's even better.
Well,
So,
Doc, check this out. You know what what I didn't realize is that if you press the minus button, you don't even necessarily have to look down at the gamepad because what's going on at the gamepad, you could bring it up to the TV screen.
They give you the option to switch the views. Nice.
Yeah, you still have to use the gamepad, but you could bring the view up to the TV screen instead of down on the pad because that is what was actually giving me some confusing me a little bit at first. But then I start getting used to it. But then I made a mistake and press the minus button and all of a sudden I saw it's like the two displays changed. The cinematic one went down to the gamepad and the first person pointer was up on the TV screen.
Oh, step. See, so they could get the HD thing display on the TV. Oh, you shut down something else. Good job, SK.
Yeah.
and see, even with that right there, now, as I also said in my video I released today, so even with that said, I didn't know that because I played the game a few hours, but mostly I've been trying to perfect the controls. I'm good at
You
it now.
failed, Doc.
I want to
You
get better.
never learned it. No, you fail. Shut up. Keep talking, SK.
But it's like okay then. So now Nintendo's giving you options. Nintendo's giving you ungrateful sons of bitches options.
Don't they always do that?
So with the Wii
No,
U,
no,
you got
options is
options.
forbidden unless you pay for it.
So the Wii U gave you options, and
Hey,
now
so
of course the games give you options, and yet, like I said, I've seen people in comment sections and even reviewers bitching like, I want to play the game on my large HD television. It's like, okay, you mean the same game you were bitching about, the having 64 graphics? Now you want to play on your HD TV? Really? Okay. And now, SK, you just put out there
That's
that
called moving the goalposts.
you can actually swap the views and
yeah,
put it to your HDTV, and it's like, well, hey, now you get what you want. So now what's your gripe? Or is it still motion controls that you have yet to try? Okay, you're lost.
and hey,
You,
these
you,
people,
you can go ahead and be a virgin forever.
they're finicky as hell, man. But it is what it is, man. Hey, you know one thing I've noticed though is you see those guys that always telling these companies right what they need to do and what they should and should not do, right? You notice that if you tell those same guys that they need to just chill out on something, they go off on you like crazy. Um, it's the same thing. So basically, what they're doing is they're basically telling a company, oh, we need this, we need that, right? You shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, right? But let's just say now one of their subscribers turned to them and said, yo, can you just chill out with all this? We want online play and amazing graphics crap, man. We want good gameplay. We don't really care about all that stuff. All of a sudden, that person jumped from taking it as as my mind is all twisted up right now. But
Let's be real. The whole thing is these people just want a bunch of yes men. The instant they find somebody that don't agree with their viewpoint, they go off on them. That's all it is.
yeah, but you're doing the same thing to somebody else because guess what? Whoever is making those decisions at whatever company is a person too. They're not a robot. So you're criticizing them for what they're doing, but nobody can criticize you for the stuff that you're doing. I never understand that, right? And then another thing that I don't understand is, if a company make a game and this developer decided, listen, this is the vision I have for this game. Why is it that you're always complaining about somebody's vision of a game? It's like back in the day, I never knew I would have liked a video game until I actually sit down and play the game. But what I was playing was somebody else's vision. That person designed something and said, listen, I want other people to get to experience this thing. And when you experience it, you're like, oh, damn, I like this. I don't like this. You know what I mean? You never just hear the word video game or whatever. Never heard the name video game and just start dissing it because you know nothing about it. You never sample it or anything. You never just criticize it. You went out and tried it for yourself, and then if you like it, you like it. If you didn't, you move on to something else. It's the same thing. It's the same concept you need to take with a game. When a game when a game comes out, before you start criticizing the game when you really know nothing about the game, why you don't just sit down and if you're interested in the game, get the game, try the game for yourself, rent the game, whatever to try the game, and if you like it, then buy it. If you don't like it, then you move on. Then you can say whatever you want to say. But to start saying stuff before the game is even out is like, come on, man, you never even tried it.
SK. See, the problem is you are part of the problem in the gaming community because the thing is you just want everything to stay the same. A real gamer want everything to be different but yet completely the same. Okay?
Yeah.
So you need to understand right then and there that you have to ask for something different all the time, but you really want the same. You can't ask for something different and get something different and then be content. You can't do that.
Yeah, I know that.
Remember, you have to act like you're bipolar or schizophrenic. Otherwise, you're not a gamer. No offense to the bipolar schizophrenic individuals out there.
Well, I tell you what, man. One time it's so funny, right? Because one time I'm sitting there, right, and I was listening to some videos and stuff, man, and my wife just happened to pass through. Because usually I'm on my earpiece. My wife just happened to pass through, and she was listening to the conversation, right? And I I was like, I tried to mute it, turn it so she don't hear what's going on. So she was like, no, let me hear what they're talking about. So I let it roll. This was right after E3 last year. And
Oh man.
yeah, and my wife sat down there and she's like, this is the stuff you listen to? And I was like, no, I really don't listen to this type of stuff, but I'm just trying to understand what's going on here. So she was listening with me, and then she walked off shaking her head. And then later on that night, she was like, man, I hope you're not like those guys there, because you guys have a weird thing going on there. I never know people go on the way they go on over video games. And I couldn't even say nothing. All I could have said was basically, on my end, I was like, listen, you know me. You know what I mean? I ain't about all that crap. I just needed to get a fair understanding of what's going on. And right then and there, starts unsubscribing to a bunch of dudes, because I was like, can't deal with this, can't deal with that, can't deal with it. You know, because the thing is, listen, if you complain today, you're fine. You know, it's fine. I understand that you're upset. You know, you're fine, whatever. But then you do the same thing tomorrow, the next day after, a whole month pass and you're still doing the same crap. You know what I mean? It's like, when is enough enough? You know what I mean?
Never.
So, but yeah, like I said, man, that's why I create a circle of people that I listen to, and right now I search around, still try to listen to other people from other from other perspective of stuff. But once I start running into people that are always whining and complaining and doing all that crap, nah, man, I can't deal with those people. So it's just one of those things, man. Ain't everybody built to listen to that type of bullcrap on a day in day out basis, man.
Well, anybody else got anything to say about this big, massive ass outcry? If not, we can go ahead and
It's
move
just
on
the
to
same
something.
nonsense.
Hey Doc, I got one thing to say.
Go ahead.
You know what the complaint? You know what the complaint really is, man.
What?
Before the game come out, they had that $60, but now that the game out, they don't have that $60 no more. So it's time to complain.
You need a valid excuse for why they don't have it. They can't say like, oh God, I ain't have no money, boy. Like, nah,
Yep.
man, this game is garbage, son. Why am I gonna waste my money on this?
Them undercover haters.
Yeah, they really ain't had the money in the first place, man.
Well, we can move on to
I'll be
something
like,
more.
no, I'm getting it used, sons. I ain't paying full price. This game is garbage.
Well, we can move
Yeah.
on to something more positive.
Yep.
I'm positive they're
Even though
stupid.
I'm lying about that. But what about the rumored specs of the PS4K? I can't believe I'm bringing this shit up.
Oh, it's
Why
a
are you
good
bringing
topic.
up this garbage?
I mean, it is a good topic, but to me, I personally don't give a shit. I guess that's why. But I know there's
Uh,
others out there looking forward to it. But to me, it's like people are taking these specs and running with it. Just like when Microsoft stated that we're gonna give the Xbox One DirectX 12. It's like, okay, and people are like, it's gonna make the game so much better. And even Microsoft said that no, it
I've,
won't.
I've learned when it comes to Sony, it's a wait and see. Because let's be real, the PS3 was supposed to run 1080p. You see how that
PS2?
turned out, right?
PS2 is supposed to run 1080p at the time?
Initially, yeah. Go back to the old reports.
PS2 or PS3?
Crazy.
PS3.
Oh, you said
Yeah,
PS2.
PS3, okay.
Oh, I said PS2 by accident. Sorry. I'm playing ranked
yeah.
battle. It's kind of hectic right now.
Yeah, that is actually true though. It was supposed to be 1080p, but that's Sony, man. They do what they
But you
normally
gotta
do, man.
admit that new logo is brilliant. Greatness awaits. It covers everything for them technically.
Yep. Because it wasn't on the PS4, so he's probably gonna be on this next one. He might be on the other one after that.
But
Mm-hmm.
I hate to inform Sony fans, greatness awaits forever. Greatness will always.
No.
Quit being
You,
so
you get
damn
it in
trolling.
small chunks. You get it in small chunks.
Well, I can tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do like about the what's going on with that PS4K is that now they're gonna actually get to see that all that extra crap they say that they're using on the PS4 4K. It's still not gonna make the games any better looking. They're gonna look basically the same. All it might do is just give you maybe a slightly better frame rate, but the games are gonna look exactly the damn same.
And on top of that, the part I'm looking forward to the most, and I cannot wait till I see the bitching, is that we've always heard this excuse that developers say they want better tools, more powerful tools and sources to make the games they really want to make. So it's like, all right then. So now it's rumored that developers have to make two different versions of the game, one for the regular PS4 and one for the PS4K. Now, when developers choose not to do this shit, I wonder what's going to happen. People are like, I want to get The Last of Us remastered, but
Remastered.
No.
yeah,
It's gonna be The Last of Us Ultimate Edition.
like I
Ultimate
cannot wait.
fuckeries.
I cannot wait till a game gets announced and then they say only for PS4K.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
But what's going to happen? And they're going to say, well, why is the developer making both versions? Sony said developers will make two versions of each game. It's like, most people
Just
like,
don't mess with my RPGs.
their excuse is going to be, well, given, the power of the PS4, we just couldn't make it fit there. And I'm looking forward to the outcry they're going to get from that shit.
Well, I can tell you what's gonna happen. If that PS4K doesn't take off the way that they want it to take off, that's when you're gonna start seeing some bullcrap because they're gonna start doing some stuff to pressure people to buy that version of the platform, and that's where the everything is gonna hit the fence.
I, I don't see how anyone could even be remotely fooled by this, man. I understand the prospect of it's a PS4 but with more power and or versatility, but you guys are forgetting one key point here. It still has PS4 in the title, which means there won't be that much of an increase in any category that matters to you as a gamer for the most part. It really won't. Just like the 3DS and the new 3DS. The only difference is the 3DS does things a little bit faster, and right now that's only one game the 3DS can do, the new 3DS can do that the regular one just can't. But that's it. There isn't a monumental difference between the two. Until they decide to call this a 4DS, it's still 3DS. It has a couple of new features in it, which is a face tracking and a faster processor, but it's not a more powerful gaming, portable handheld. It really isn't. It's essentially the same. It just does things a little bit faster than the other one does.
Yeah, and anyone that is expecting that to play games in 4K, they got something else coming to them, man.
Did they come out? I'm sorry. That shit's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, any of you guys saw the picture I put up of my computer?
No, I have
That
to check that out later.
yeah, well, that
The
is
one in the
supposed to be
dark.
yeah, that is supposed to be able to play games in 4K, but I doubt it, and I wouldn't push it to do that anyway because I'm comfortable where it's at.
You just want low standards, though. Stop making excuses.
Yeah, all I want is 1080 60, man. Boy,
Man, I just want gaming to get back to
Gaming.
gaming. Yeah, just gaming.
This
well,
graphic nonsense. I mean, nice graphics is wonderful, but let's get back to gaming.
I don't
Seriously.
remember talking about graphics when, and I'm going to mention titles that aren't even worth really bragging about, but I wasn't impressed by the graphics of Streets of Rage and Clay Fighter and GoldenEye. I wasn't impressed by the graphics then. The graphics didn't even bother me at all. They didn't impress me like that. When I
Super
got the
Mario RPG
game,
impressed me, though.
when I got the game, I came home from Funkoland, whatever store I bought it from. Guess what? I popped it in, hit the power button, grabbed my controller, and I was just fucking amazed by the gameplay. I didn't really care if the background had actual realistic water or not. I didn't care if I could see sweat coming from a character's face. My thing was, wow, I'm enjoying this game. Even when it came to Soul Calibur and the titty flops, I never focused on the titty flops. I was trying to get through the damn story so I could
Lies.
see the ending. Now, after I saw the ending, I went back to focus on a few titty flops.
Okay, I'll take that.
But when I got the game initially, I was focused just on the
Lucky for the
gameplay
win.
stuff. Splatoon. It was a gameplay. I didn't really give a shit, about, it better have a correct art style and, how the game looked. I love the environment. I love the atmosphere. I love the way the game plays. Period. That's it. I don't really care whether or not Nintendo decides to give somebody a mohawk or whatever else. I mean, I just don't care if I can see ink dripping off one of the Inklings' faces. I don't care for that shit. Does the game play good? That's it. Just like Last of Us. I don't care how
By
good
the way,
that game
the
looks.
ink does drip off the Inkling's face, just so you know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know, but I never cared for it, and I still don't care for it, and I won't
well,
care for it in a sequel either.
well, I tell you what, the best looking game I've ever played so far was that game that remake that just came out on the PS4. Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
I
And
still got to get a hold of that actually.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's the best looking game I've seen, right? And the thing about that is that maybe the first 10 minutes of that game, I was like, man, this thing looked really, really good. But then after a while, it's like, okay, time to focus on the gameplay. Now it's like I don't like the graphics now. It's like I don't even study. Like I don't like how some people sit down and try to look at every little thing. Nah, man, it's shine and it clear. I'm ready to go, man. As long as I can see what I'm doing, I'm good. Because I mean, to me personally, and it might be blasphemy for me saying this, but between looking at that game and looking at something like Star Fox, I mean, personally, I don't even really see that much of a difference now. Because of the fact that I'm not focusing on all that crap. You know, Star Fox good enough for me to play, and that's the most important thing. So, you know, I understand that Ratchet and Clank look a lot better, but once you start playing, man, all of that is out the window because if you sit down there and focus on just how the game look, you ain't getting nowhere in the game.
Yeah.
But hey, you know how it's gonna end up, man. If this thing is real, which I've heard people say, oh, it's been confirmed by Sony and this and that. It's like, well, I've yet to see the thing, and maybe I'm not looking in the right place. Maybe I'm not visiting enough ass-kissing channels. However, if
Eh.
it's coming, it's coming. If it's not, it's not. Bottom line, I don't care. I don't have a PS4. I'm getting one this year. And if it is a real thing, maybe I will get that particular version if the price is right. But I honestly feel that Sony's doing the same thing Sega did back in the day, and this shit's not going to end well for them. They're already making their current
Sony
consoles
can't fail though.
somewhat obsolete.
No, not with these gamers around here. They would never allow Sony to do. Sony could basically get away with anything that they want to right now.
Do you know that most of these gamers, and I went back and forth with someone I think this week about this shit. Do you know that most of these gamers don't even know the kind of financial trouble Sony's in? I actually went back and forth with someone that says Sony is a big electronic conglomerate. They have way more money than Nintendo. I'm like, dude, that yeah, maybe Sony 20 years ago, not Sony today. Sony today is 40 plus billion under the ground.
Ouch.
Sony is bleeding bad. Sony has a mortal wound. And the only thing that's actually doing good for them right now, and I do mean good as far as profitability and just is the PlayStation Vision, and that's only slight. If PlayStation Vision falls, Sony may fall with it, and that's a small part of the company, but it's the only one that's keeping them afloat in terms of bringing in some type of money. And Sony may announce, you know, a profit here and there, but I think overall, PlayStation's operating at a debt.
Well,
They're operating at a loss.
you know what is so funny? All those people that was complaining about how long that seventh gen was, it actually benefited Sony and Microsoft because Sony was losing wasn't Sony losing a whole bunch of money until like about the fifth year or something like that into
Yeah,
the
they were losing money up until their first sign of profit for the PS3 was actually 2012, like late 2012, when they finally generated a profit off the PlayStation 3. Now, when I say
yes.
generate profit, that means that's the first time in that quarter they said, "Oh, we actually made a profit." But that was still about 6 years, almost 6 years of nothing but billion-dollar losses.
Yeah, and so all I gotta say to those people that keep saying that is, listen, it might have been too long maybe for you, but for these companies, it actually benefited them waiting that long because they was able to recover from a lot of losses and stuff that they had.
True, very true. But hey, let them think what they want to think, man. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, I'm gonna be playing my games, and when these servers shut down and when these studios keep on closing, what the hell are they gonna be playing? Last of Us Remastered 2?
yeah, and then check this out. Check out the funny thing about it is that just look at what the consoles last generation was doing versus what the consoles are doing this generation, right? I mean, you're telling me that it took you 7 years to just 7 years from the start of that generation to this generation, to make the game just that much better looking. It's you see what I'm saying? It's so little, like all it is just a little bit. It's better light. It's a lot better lighting and just a little bit of extra textures.
Exactly. Exactly. But I mean, but they don't see that. All they see is, well, I want to play more mature games, and I want to play more than Mario, Zelda, and this. It's like you do realize that just because it has Mario on the title does not mean it's a platformer. Mario Kart is a spin-off. Smash Brothers is a spin-off. Just like Splatoon, that game doesn't have anything about Mario in it. But Pikmin, I mean, people just, uh, I've actually given up and I've actually stopped caring. It's like, I'm enjoying my game system.
That's what you
People may
have
not
to
like
do.
me for enjoying it, but I'm enjoying it. And they enjoy their PS4. Hey, more power to you if you enjoy that piece of shit console. More power to you.
That's what you have to do these days with the news sites, with people in general when it comes to gaming. Is you just gotta not care anymore. I mean, just enjoy your games, have fun. Don't worry about what they have to say. They're not gonna be around too
Hey,
much
hey,
No.
Doc.
longer. So.
Hey, Doc. This might be a different topic, right? But I was thinking about something just recently, right? And for all those people that complaining about Nintendo and droughts and all this stuff, right? One thing I've noticed is that Nintendo is not, and I guess you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but Nintendo is not as big as a lot of these third-party company, right? The big ones.
No.
Okay,
No.
but do realize that Nintendo is releasing maybe about four, sometimes five times the amount of game any other company is releasing?
True.
Because they're releasing games on the Wii U and they're releasing games on the 3DS.
They're basically feeding themselves. They're cooking the food and feeding themselves.
Yeah,
And nobody
no,
else can do that shit.
yeah, because even EA, like let's just say, if EA is the third party company that is pumping out the most games, right? I'm just using them as an example, right? They only have what, like three sport franchises, and then maybe like three or four other different genre of games that they're gonna release in a year, right? Whereas with Nintendo now, they're releasing. If you combine between the 3DS and the Wii U, you're looking at almost 20 games, if not more, sometimes.
Hmm.
So it's like I don't understand what people expect from a company when a company have to support basically two platforms by themselves. I mean, I don't know if you expect them to just call the name of the game and it just appears on the console.
Actually, they do expect that. Just like over a year ago, there was a lot of backlash going on, and people were bitching about not having enough quality Nintendo titles to play. It's like, well, they just don't appear out of thin air. And since Nintendo was the last one to the HD scene, they had to adjust to it, but they did make the adjustment, and now their games are some of the best looking ones out there in the market for this gen period. If not the best looking, they have the best artistic styling. So yeah, they were kind of late, but at the same time, if you need 12 high quality titles from Nintendo, and keep in mind that I'm not talking about quality in terms of visuals only, I mean overall quality titles. If you need 12 of those a year from Nintendo, you don't have a damn job. I'm going to put it out there. There's no way in hell that you need that many titles from Nintendo per year on a home console just to stay, occupied in terms of gaming. That means you're not doing shit else, and you definitely can't have a full-time job.
Yep.
Because I don't even have kids, and I know some of you guys do, but I am married. I have a full-time job, and I have about 50 major titles for my Wii U, and I don't even have time to play five of them. But yet you got people out there saying, "Well, the Wii U has a drought; it has no games." Well, damn, the last game they released, one of them, Xenoblade Chronicles X, you can't get 100% that game in a damn month, and that's if you were to play 10 hours a day.
Well, that all boils down to preference still, because I mean, even when some of the big games were coming out, they still was talking about this. There's nothing there for them. So it's all preference, and a lot of times what I think it is a lot of times a lot of these people that bought a Nintendo console, I think they bought the console for the wrong reason, and that's why they're
Yep.
complaining now.
Yeah, but I mean,
It,
if you buy a console just because you want to play online multiplayer with friends, then even though this is stupid in and of itself, you should see what console your friends own and or play. But even still, we gotta say it's stupid because you shouldn't buy something just because a lot of the people have it. You should buy what you find appealing. I find Nintendo games appealing, but I find all types of games and all types of publishers and developers appealing. I play indies, I play AAA, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean in today anyway. But I love games. Period. No matter what console that they're on. If Mario actually did go third party and was on a PlayStation console, I will probably still buy it because I want to see what that game is like. I'm not loyal to only
okay.
one console.
Now, now, give me a second. Now, I apologize if this comes off facetious, but I'm actually being dead serious. The thing is this: gaming has become a lot more social, has a lot more social impact, and a lot of people play for social reasons. Therefore, they should pick what's most popular because more people will be on it playing socially. If
That
that's
is
why you're playing. But those aren't real gamers, though. Those are the casuals. So it's funny how the casuals are becoming the hardcore.
well, that is true.
Very true. I agree. I
So I
completely
mean,
agree.
you have to think about why you're gaming and then move on from there. But you have to be honest to yourself why you're gaming the way you are. You
That's
can't
the
just turn around and say,
leadership.
"I'm gaming for social reasons," but huh?
You're being elitist.
But
Putting
Oh,
but
let
but
me
elitist
no, but
finish.
not
standards,
even
actually.
Let me
but not even
finish.
that.
You're right, though. I guess I do come up that way. At the end of the day, this is what it is. Play what you want to play for whatever reasons you want to play, but just be honest about why you want to play that way. Because people are trying to play, oh, well, I'm playing it, I want graphics. No, you want graphics and details because everybody else wants graphics and details. If you're playing, really think of why you want to play and move from there. But don't fake the funk. I keep it real. I love graphics. I love eye candy. But at the end of the day, I will take gameplay 99.9% of the time over that.
Yep.
I
This is,
prefer functionality. I prefer a good storyline.
but you
That
know what?
trumps everything for me.
It's not even
But
really
I'm honest about that,
if
unlike
people
some people.
if you do like online gaming and you like playing online multiplayer, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you need to understand the ramifications of that choice because what happens is when servers go offline, that game can no longer be played by you, at least not online. And if but that's what you prefer, if you are a diehard Call of Duty player, props to you. I have nothing against you at all. Just if you love that, that's okay. But don't do it just because everybody else is doing it. Think for your damn self. If I know people out there that actually went and bought like a basketball sim because their friends have it. Man, what kind of games you like? Well, I mean, I played at 2K. Well, I'll try that. It's like, but you didn't try it. You went and bought it. You don't like it. It wasn't your type of game, so now you're stuck with it. So
Well,
it's like,
at
think
least
for
that
yourself.
person, at least that person is not as bad as my buddy, man. I got a buddy of mine, man. He he he, he buy one game every year, man. One game, and that's Call of Duty. That's the only thing he play. So right now
Well,
he have a PS4, and he have 3 games for the PS4. He have
hey,
yeah.
as dumb as it sounds, if he's having fun, hey,
Yeah,
If that's what he likes, hey, nothing's wrong with that. But
yeah,
don't
he's
start when things turn around for you and no one's playing online anymore or the service shut down. You need to understand that the decision you're making before you make it.
yeah. Well, he played every single day. He say after work, and the funny thing about it is that, like he said, man, he don't even know what Sony makes. Um, he said he used to be an Xbox guy. But the problem was, he said, with the first Xbox, he had some kind of ringer dead on the first Xbox. He had overheated and it stopped working. I, then he said that he bought the a 360, and he went through about 6 of them. And once they returned the last one, he went ahead and turned it into the to GameStop, and he bought a PlayStation. And he said that the only thing that he ever really been interested in is Call of Duty. He saw the commercial on TV one time, and that was it. He wanted to try it, and he tried it. He had liked it, and he said he don't care for nothing else. So you have those type of gamers out there, and to be honest with you, I think those type of gamers are the ones in the majority here, because there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people out there that only buy 2 and 3 games.
Yep, I could tell you right now. Well, at my last job, a lot of my coworkers that were quote unquote into gaming, they only played like 2 3 games, and it's usually those annual games, and
Yeah,
they were
that's what a
content,
lot
and
of
they didn't know anything else. They didn't know about the stocks. They don't know. They just go in the store, they buy the game, and they leave.
And that's what a lot of
And
these YouTube
that
gamers.
exactly, and that's majority of the gamers nowadays. I mean, and as annoying as it seems to us at times, we have to be partially grateful because they keep the money in the gaming. The only problem is that you speak with your wallet, and sadly, more people are speaking towards the nonsense. I mean, don't get me wrong; those they're having fun and whatever, but we need
No,
more creativity.
but no, you're right. They're speaking with their wallet. They're speaking with their YouTube wallets.
Well, that's what a lot of these YouTube gamers don't understand is that most people don't buy a game every month or a game every time it comes out. You know, some people buy only about 1, 2, 3 games a year.
Yep,
Because there are other things they have to worry about.
yep,
Yeah,
They're called responsibilities.
yeah. Well,
Exactly.
a lot of these guys don't have none, and they don't seem to notice they're in the minority here. And
yeah.
it's I
Think
was
about
looking
it.
up.
How many of those people that complain all the time and fussing all the time have a stable job and a family? You know, they have a wife and kids and everything else. Most of them don't.
Yeah, uh,
They're a bunch of man children. And I mean, sorry, let me leave that alone. Now I'm passing judgment.
They're baby boys.
No, 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 no. Some of them are professionals. Professional what? I'll leave that alone.
all of professional bullshitter.
You should
Professional suckers.
that's
Or
so shade.
professional, you know what suckers, if you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
hey.
Okay, you guys are interrupting my Dragon Ball Super, so I mean, come on. Rein it in.
Hey, hey, I can tell you what, right? I was listening to one dude video, right, where he was talking about the direction of consoles and stuff like that, and he was saying how consoles need to go in that direction if they need to keep up with PCs and all this crap. And I'm like, yo, number one, man, consoles will never be able to keep up with a PC for the price range that you're trying to sell the consoles for. Number two, they do not realize that once they start releasing consoles every 2 and 3 years, um, you're going to start killing the market slowly, because a lot of people, when they buy a console, man, they expect to have the console sitting there for a good period of time, and you know what I mean, and they expect the console to go through its progression based off of what they're used to. Once they start releasing a console every 2 3 years, man, eventually what's going to happen is a lot of people is just going to sit back and wait for the next version of that console, and all it's going to do is hurt these companies.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Plus, majority of the people doesn't have money to put into a console to you know put down $4 or $5 on a console just to play games and stuff like that. That's why the PS3 when it first came out was having issues, flying off the shelves because it was just too expensive. So you're sitting there, you're thinking about graphics, this, graphics that. Man, graphics is not cheap. I mean, my graphics card cost me $400. It's not cheap. You know what I mean? So, and that's not even including all the other stuff that you need to put into those things to make them work. So when you sit down there and you expect a $400 console, because let's be realistic, that's what most people are expecting to pay. No more than $400, but they expect to get the best visuals and everything that is out there. They want 4K, they need all that. Man, not even those, not even a GTX 980 struggles to do 4K at 1080. Most of the games cannot even do a steady 30 frames on that type of at 4K. You expect something like that PS4K to do anything close to that? Man, all you're gonna be basically doing is getting what they promised you from the get-go. 1080 at 60 frames for some games and 30 for some. That's all you're gonna be getting from that system, and it's probably more likely gonna struggle to do that too. But people don't understand how these things work, man. They sit down there and they let these companies fool them up with all this crap. And then it's like if you turn to them and say, listen, man, yo, you do notice that Sony or whoever is lying to you, right? They start calling you a fanboy. Like anytime somebody somebody put up a video and I've seen some bull crap in the video and I comment on it, just because my avatar is Star Fox, all of a sudden now I'm a Nintendo fanboy and all this crap, and I'm like, yeah, alright, that's cool. I don't even battle it, man. I just let them say what they have to say. They don't understand that. Listen, man, all I'm doing is trying to be realistic about the vision. I understand that I'm killing your hope, man, but I have to be true because the company is not going to be true to you.
Yeah, but hey, if they want to be fooled, man, let them be fooled. I don't care about 4K gaming. Even when 4K becomes a thing, I won't care about 4K gaming. I just care about gaming, period. I don't care if the Wii U was 480p. I would still be gaming on it. I would have still bought it at launch day. No problem. Because I know what it means to be just a gamer, not the newest, latest, and greatest only gamer, not a casual gamer, not a hardcore gamer, not a Sony gamer or Xbox. I just game, period. I'm gonna give a shit what the console's on. Even my last few OGLs, I've shown shit like, PopCap arcade games, like Heavy Weapon, and games back on the PS1 and the original Xbox. Those games don't look great today, but even still, I enjoyed them. I still enjoy them. But like I say, it's whatever, man.
Well, that's the thing. When I buy, like people ask me, oh, why do you have an Xbox or a PlayStation and a Wii U, right? And I'm like, listen, man, when I buy these consoles, right, I just go back to what happened to me last generation, because last generation was actually the first generation that I own all three consoles at the same time, and I found games on each one of the consoles that I actually had like. So when I bought my Nintendo console, I never was thinking about third party games. I was thinking about first party games first and foremost, and I never the third party stuff never came to my mind. Right? When I buy my PlayStation console, it was the same thing. I was just thinking about the PlayStation games that I had last generation that I actually like, and the same with the Xbox games. Now moving to this generation, one thing that I did notice is that I made a mistake buying one of those consoles, because right now with me building my PC about a year ago and seeing what's going on with Microsoft, and then playing a lot of the Microsoft games, and I'm starting to lose interest in the Microsoft games, because for some reason it's like, I play one of the games, like for example, I play Gears of War, the beta, and I play like the Forza games and different type of games, and I'm starting to get that same feeling, like it feel like a game that I've already played, and I'm just playing it back over again, and I'm starting to lose interest in that. Plus, to top it off, every minute I hear one of the games are coming over to PC. And I'm like, okay, well, I already have my PC here. So now I'm questioning why I even bought the Xbox in the first place. To the point where I'm actually thinking about selling it. But then Microsoft is screwing me over with that too, because every minute they're dropping the price.
Well, you could sell it to me. I'll go buy it for you for $50. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'll go buy you a case of beer too. Because
Hey,
I
well,
want to play Killer Instinct. I want to play Sunset Overdrive at least.
well, that's the thing. Right now, I'm just looking at it, right, because my brother is also he's thinking about maybe getting one of those console, but he's waiting to see if now Nintendo is gonna announce a new console
The
at E.
NX.
Yeah, and if they
The
do,
NX is
then
going to be a software patch, and I'm going to laugh.
Well, hold on. Double A, do you want to say something?
No, not really.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
okay, yeah.
Well, go ahead.
My brother so he's waiting to see. So I'm thinking about one or two things. I'm thinking okay, well, three things I'm thinking about right now, but I'm kind of confused because I'm thinking okay, well, since I already bought the Xbox, might as well just hold on to it because more than likely that is gonna be my last. Well, I'm about 99% sure right now the Xbox One is gonna be my last Microsoft console because
Oh, wow.
yeah, well, I'm getting into the PC stuff now. So
I guess
they're
that makes
making
sense,
themselves
all things
irrelevant for
considering.
me.
Yeah, it does make sense.
True,
Hell,
true.
Yeah,
I may even do the
right.
same thing personally.
Yeah, now Sony on the other end, Sony, I'm looking at them too because they're not doing what I'm expecting them to do, like what they always been doing. They've been pushing a lot of different type of unique games in previous generations, but this generation it look like they're just depending on other people to make games for them, and I'm not really liking that because when I bought that console, I was hoping that Sony would give me their take on their style of games, and I'm not getting that right now. No, it looked like things are changing slowly but surely, but it's a real slow pace. We are basically 3 years into this generation, and I've only probably have what, maybe four exclusives from them, 4 or 5.
You're sounding impatient.
Well, hold on. Before you guys go on, we do have a few questions here. This first one I'm going to ask is actually a very good one from Josh S. And shout out to you, man. Thanks for attending.
Hey, Josh, that's is cool peoples.
He says,
Yeah.
all in cast and comments, I have a question. What is your favorite Star Fox game and why? What is your least favorite and why? Which Star Fox vehicle is your favorite? And finally, would you want a mode where you shoot Slippy down over and over? Okay, yeah, that's a troll question.
Um,
Who, anyone
Star
wants
I
to
like
Fox
go?
Slippy.
64. I'll do it. Star Fox 64, and I like the battle tank. There you
Landmaster.
go, I'm done. Yeah, the Landmaster. Oops. The Landmaster. I always think of Blaster Master when someone says Last Master.
Well, I have two that is actually a tie for me. One of them is gonna be a little controversial because I like the tie is Star Fox 64 and Star Fox Adventure.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. No, I haven't played that yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
good.
really
I,
like Adventures.
What about you, Double A?
It's kind of hard, but I guess it's a tie between Adventures and the current one, Zero.
All right. And Neo.
Hold on there, boy,
What the hell is he doing?
my
Okay.
little boy,
he's,
man, in the
he's
room.
probably he's probably either chasing the dog or trying to catch a picture of a train.
All right.
Go
No,
Well,
play
for
Mario
me,
Maker.
he's
for
with my
me,
niece.
no, we're talking about Neo.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh, but for me, it's going to be my favorite is going to be Star Fox Zero. I'm loving the game, um, especially with the included Star Fox Guard. That's actually a pretty addictive side game. It really is. Now, I could be wrong about this because I haven't played it a lot, or I haven't played it, I think like maybe 4 hours. But why didn't they incorporate the motion controls or gyro controls in Star Fox Guard?
I don't know. Who knows?
Like I thought that was kind of weird. It's like you're catching all this heat from motion controls. You better commit. And I'm like, you use dual analog sticks for guard. What the hell? But I mean, it's still not bad. But it could have been better with gyro.
Uh,
Um,
I'm gonna take a guess. It's because since you have to switch between cameras with the gamepad, and essentially it'd be kind of awkward if if you move the gamepad. I guess.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's actually a good point. Least favorite? Probably the first one. I did enjoy the first one a lot. I really did. But since I have to choose one that I like the least out of all of them, it will probably just be the first one.
yeah, me too.
Same
And
here.
and as far as like what I want, my favorite vehicle, I actually do love that damn the R wing with the walker. Like I love that shit. Landmaster's fun too, but the R wing and the Slippy mode. Leave this dude alone, man. I mean, we kind of see that he's not nearly as annoying as he has been, and we see a little bit more about the character. So to me, it's like give him a break. Like he's redeemed himself.
Well, actually, he's the smartest one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's redeemed himself, especially in the like the opening scene and stuff like that. Like like he's redeemed
So the
himself.
anime.
Yeah, like let it go. Quit quit wanting to kill this dude, man. He doesn't deserve that much hate, at least not anymore.
Hey,
Like,
one thing I'm
yeah.
gonna say, right? Is you see, people who hate Slippy, they hate him because he's just like a bunch of these YouTubers. He's the noisy one.
Oh hell, he just had to draw that
Make a mode
salt, didn't
about shutting down one of these annoying YouTubers, and then you got a deal. Just
he?
leave Slippy alone.
I guess the question should have been, which YouTuber would you shut down if you could? Well, we're not going to get into that. Um,
Yeah.
Another question from Josh S. Also, who is the best member of Star Wolf? I can't answer that yet. At least I haven't faced it in this game yet, but I look forward to doing so.
I
Wolf.
haven't tested the new game, so I don't know. Everybody seems to think Wolf, but I don't know.
I
Anybody?
like that. I like that Black Arwing, man. I mean, it's a little bit rough to deal with, but I just like the colors on it, man.
You mean the Wolfen or the R-Wing
No,
that you
the
use?
Arwing, the black one, where you have to use the amiibo to make it
Oh, the
black.
Falco.
Yeah,
You mean the Falco one?
yeah, I love the look of it, man.
It comes with a price, 3 times more damage, but you can lock onto more enemies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you better do a whole bunch of U-turns and barrel rolls.
man, right now I got a stage giving me some kicking my butt, man. Forgot what stage it is, man. I didn't play it today. But there's a stage I was playing yesterday morning. Man, it was kicking my butt, man. I was in there cussing, man.
Oh man, but I hope this. I honestly do hope, and I believe this game is going to hit 1 million units within the first 3 months. I will say that. I'm hoping it does, because I would like to see a sequel. I feel like this game, although a lot of effort was put into it, I can also see why they may have left some things out intentionally for the next installment, if if the sales warrant such a thing. So for all those that say you want a real true Star Fox, if you don't want this franchise to die, you want to wait another 10 years for a sequel, I suggest you get off your asses, put aside your pride, stop listening to other gamers, and literally go out and try the damn game. At least
But
try it. At least try enough to go at least halfway through the game. Do more than their reviewers did. Don't just try the first couple of levels and be like, okay, I can't get this, I'm done. Complete half the game before you finally give up and say, okay, I can't do the controls. If you play a game for 3, 4, 5 hours and the controls are still confusing to you, then maybe this game is not for you. I can understand that. But if you play the game for half an hour to an hour, you're like, I can't get this right, you're being lazy as shit.
let me ask you a question. What are they considering a true Star? If they say this is not a true Star Fox game, so what is a true Star Fox game?
Who the hell knows? They kept saying they wanted a new Star Fox in the same vein of 64. We have a reimagining, and people are bitching about that. So who the
Because
hell
this,
knows?
yeah, because this reminds me of 64, and 64 is my favorite one. So I mean,
But you know
um,
what though, SK, to add to that, and Double A, you pointed to this. People say they did want a game like like a new Star Fox like 64, but wasn't the first complaint that it was that the game looked like it was Star Fox 64? Was it the
I mean,
first complaint we
graphically,
got? Yeah, graphically, yeah. So you complain about it looking like Star Fox 64 in a sense, even though it's just an early build. But wow, now that the game is like it in a lot of ways, you're
it's an
complaining.
man. Tell them to go make their own damn game, man.
Yeah. We know that won't go over too well. We know
Yeah,
it won't go over too well. But
of
hey, I
course,
mean,
because you're telling them
these
to
are the
do something they
professionals out
can't.
there. These are the professionals. These are the YouTubers that everyone trusts. These are the YouTubers that they play through every iteration of the game. These are the ones that have gotten all the medals and all the achievements for every single game, right? I'm assuming if you're talking this much shit, you must be one of those people that you know Star Fox in and out. That if I ask you any question about the game, you know you've either achieved it or you know the answer to it. And I'm pretty sure in most cases, the ones that are talking all this shit only play one Star Fox game. One. They may have played the
Yeah.
64 if they were lucky, or the one on the SNES. But that's it. And here's another question. This is slightly off topic, but regarding the Star Fox franchise, all these people saying they've been crying for years saying we want a new Star Fox. Why didn't you petition Nintendo to actually release the unreleased Star Fox 2?
Oh, now that would be nice.
I say that because Mr. T, I remember him saying a few months ago that he finally got someone to make him a copy of it for his SNES. That there's actually a few copies of the game in the wild, but you have to pay someone to actually make it into a cartridge format so you can play it, or something to that effect. But he said he actually has a copy of Star Fox 2. So I'm thinking to myself, that was a game that was completed but never released, but it was finished. Why aren't people asking about that? Either because they don't know about it, but they pretend to be the biggest Star Fox fans, or they just don't know what the hell they really want.
Well, you
It's the
know what?
same pattern. I mean, look at Metroid. Come on,
Yeah,
Metroid Prime. What you call it? Federation Force.
You see, what it is, right? A lot of these dudes, the first Star Fox game they ever played was on the GameCube. Because a lot of them is not even old enough to have played, own a SNES back then, Super Nintendo.
How dare you
Yeah, most
insult these hardcore gamers?
most
Hmm.
people don't even know there was Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. They just think it started in '64.
Yeah, I
Star
remember.
Fox 1 came on in 64.
I remember that one on the Super Nintendo that had that FX chip on it.
That
Yeah.
was a shiznit. That took 16-bit gaming to another level.
Yeah.
yeah. And here's another comment here, also from Josh S. He says, "Oh, also we need to that the Star Fox cartoon to be a thing. Like I agree that art style,
Nintendo just needs to start making anime. Seriously, they
dude,
really do.
for the
They
shit
would
they've been
kill.
doing with Smash Brothers and the directs to Fire
I know,
Emblem
right?
to this, it's like Nintendo. Are you
And they could
telling
do
us over the next?
OVAs. They don't even need to make a regular show, bro. They could release like a video once every other month or something,
Dude, if
and
they did
and people would get
OVAs,
it.
if they did OVAs
Yep,
for Star Fox, dude,
pretty
it would
much.
probably sell more. It would probably sell more than their games.
Yep.
Actually, I think they're gonna do it. I think they're just testing the market to see what city interest level in those stuff. But I think they're gonna actually do it because the amount of production time they put into those games, I mean into those animes, and you could tell that there was a lot of time put into those. It's not just they're not wasting it. They're
Yeah,
doing
Nintendo
something
don't
else with
waste
it.
no money. They don't like to waste money. That's a lot of money spent. I think this is
Especially,
one of their forward plans.
especially the one regarding the Pikmin animated shorts. Like
I
that
actually
right
still need to
there,
check those out.
like that right there. Those things were so good. It's like, Nintendo, I know you're working on a full movie. Tell me you're working on a full movie. It will be perfect. It's all there. They could take the same stories from those shorts and put them in a movie form, and it will work. So if Nintendo is testing ground, hey, look, if they would have charged me for the next Star Fox episode, I'll pay for it.
Like
And
Pikmin.
would I pay $20 for one episode? Probably not. But just like they did with Pikmin, that was $5. That
For
was it.
free.
Yeah, I'll pay for that. If you give me three Star Fox shorts that are like 10, 15 minutes each, I'll pay you $5 or $10 for that. It's no worse than what anime was doing back in the VHS and DVD days when they give you one volume with three episodes for like 15, $20. So I would do that. I hope they do make this a thing because I would love to have and start collecting a lot of Nintendo, cartoons, OVAs, anime shows, movies. I would love that shit.
Who wouldn't?
Well, you know who wouldn't? The same ones bitching about Star Fox. But I mean, you have a point there, Double A, because I mean, the same people probably already have the amiibo, but are bitching about there being content locked behind amiibo. But we'll save that for a different day.
The wonderful amiibo debate.
Either too much or too little is never good enough.
Yeah, that's a common pattern, and this is the constantly moving the damn goalpost.
We can call it
There's
the
always
Amiibo
something wrong.
Force. That should be the title of the podcast.
Well, I guess we'll go ahead and end it there before we continue to put these people on blast. I definitely have a life, and I'm not going to focus on this day and night like some people do. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a few dislikes on my video and or the podcast. I'm pretty sure I may even get a few responses from people that I have not even mentioned. But just in case you know, if you make a video mentioning my name, I'm not going to respond to you, not even in video form or in the comment section. So if you want to waste your time, go right ahead. I won't.
That's because you're scared, Doc.
You're right. I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to miss out on these great games I have sitting in front of me.
You're sure you're gonna ruin your clothes by touching the BS.
But hey, anyway, I'll let you guys go ahead and do your sign-offs and whatever you have to promote, starting with Double A.
Yeah, I don't gotta sign off. All I'm saying, I'm just playing Star Fox Zero.
that's a good enough sign-off right there. Anything you want to promote?
Yeah, more Star Fox Zero and Guard.
All right. Next up, we got Kenoshi.
This is Kanashi Abominito, here to say that those who a wise man, no, a foolish man says he knows everything, while a wise man says there's much more to learn.
Next up, we have SK.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Just play what you like, man. Focus on what you like, play what you like, and stop listening to people if you do. Enjoy yourself, guys.
All right. Good Shepherd.
I'm basically going to repeat what SK said and Kenoshi said to some extent. At the end of the day, it's your life. Do what makes you happy. What makes you happy, okay? Not popularity or anything else. Just go out there and enjoy your games. And stop the fussing. So please, shut up and play.
And to all the viewers out there, I want to thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Be sure to check out their channels. Some great guys here. Also, check out the video I released. I posted earlier today by the name of Star Fox Zeros. Yes, it's not a typo. It's a pot shot. But yeah, but thank you for tuning in once again. And as I always say, keep it gaming. And to the zeros out there, you can all kiss my ass.
Don't drink orange juice.